turn off the lights. Close the door. Stand in your corner. And whatever you do, don't look behind you. There are 4 corners in the room. 4 people. 4 shadows. Everything makes sense until the counting begins. 1, 2, 3. You walk to the next corner, facing the wall, following the rules. Because that's what everyone says, right? If you follow the rules, nothing bad happens. Then the signals begin. 1 knock. 1 clap. 1 footstep. 1 touch. 4 players. 4 signals. Exactly as expected. Until one night, someone hears a 5th. A 5th clap. But there are only 4 people in the room. And according to those who've played the game, that's when you realise something terrifying. The ritual worked. Tonight, we are going to talk about the 4 corners game. The summoning ritual some people call one of the most dangerous games ever created. And welcome to Night 3 of 7 Nights of Forbidden Rituals. The 4 corners game goes by many names online. Some claim it originated in Korea. Others believe it came from Japan or somewhere else in East Asia. The truth is, nobody really knows. Like many urban legends, its origins are buried beneath retellings, forum posts, anonymous stories, and whispered warnings passed between friends. But despite the different versions, one detail remains strangely consistent. There should only ever be 4 people in the room, never 5. According to one story, the ritual began centuries ago in the mountains. 5 travelers sought shelter during a brutal winter, but 1 died from exposure before they reached safety. Unable to abandon their friend, the remaining 4 carried the body into a cabin, and there, they attempted something forbidden. They stood in 4 corners, called his name, and tried to bring him back. The body never moved, but when they counted the footsteps in the room, there were 5. Whether that story is true or not, the ritual survived and eventually spread across the internet, right beside games like Bloody Mary, the elevator game, and other rituals that promise contact with something beyond our world. The rules are simple, which somehow makes them even scarier. You need 4 people. A room with 4 corners, preferably empty. No distractions. No furniture. No animals. Some versions even say insects can interfere with the ritual. A basement is ideal. You also need a light source, a lamp, a lantern, something bright enough to illuminate the room. Not a phone, not a candle, a proper light. Before starting, everyone must agree on 3 things: who the leader is, what signal each player will use, and what to do if something goes wrong. Because according to the stories, sometimes someone disappears. The game begins with the lights turned off. The room falls into darkness. Each player says their name 3 times, then walks to their corner, facing the wall, back toward the room, never looking behind them. Some believe this gives spirits permission to enter. Others say it's so they can observe you, without being observed themselves. Then the leader counts. 1, 2, 3. Everyone moves clockwise to the next corner. Slowly. Quietly. No speaking. No turning around. No breaking formation. Once everyone reaches their new corner, the signals begin. One player knocks. Another claps. Another stomps. Another taps the wall. The signals tell everyone, I'm still here. But sometimes, someone doesn't answer. Or worse, someone answers who shouldn't exist. 4 people, 5 signals. And according to the legend, that 5th signal belongs to something else. Something that joined the game. The emergency protocol is precise. Move counterclockwise. Retrace your steps. Say your name backwards 3 times. Then turn the lights back on. If you're lucky, everyone returns. If not, the game continues. Whether you want it to or not. People who claim to have survived the ritual tell disturbing stories. Voices mimicking friends. Whispers directly into their ears. Shadows standing in corners that should be empty. Some report losing the ability to speak. Others claim they were followed for years afterward. One story even describes a player becoming obsessed with standing in corners, silent, emotionless, as though waiting for something to come back. Of course, there's no evidence any of this is real. At least none that can be verified. But that hasn't stopped people from trying. And one story in particular still circulates online today. Not in Korea. Not in Japan. But thousands of miles away. In Ghana. There were 4 friends. Afia, Amma, Nana, and Esther. Teenagers. Best friends. The kind who shared secrets, laughed over nothing, and believed they were invincible. Like many people today, they found the game online. TikTok videos, urban legend accounts, horror compilations. The algorithm has a strange sense of humor. Watch enough K-pop videos, and eventually the internet might suggest a summoning ritual. Afia was the leader of the group. Confident, popular, fearless. Sometimes a little reckless. The kind of person who says, what could possibly go wrong, right before everything goes wrong. Her parents owned a farm outside Accra, large enough that nobody would disturb them. And on the property stood an abandoned house. A house nobody used anymore. Years earlier, a groundskeeper had lived there, until one night, he was murdered. Robbery gone wrong, at least officially. His body reportedly remained undiscovered for days. And afterward, people said strange things happened there. Shadows in windows, cold spots, that feeling of being watched. Perfect for a ritual, terrible for survival. After dinner one evening, the girls grabbed a lantern and headed toward the abandoned house. The sky was dark, clouds gathering overhead, a storm approaching. Afia's father called after them. Nothing dangerous, darling. No, Papa. Afia smiled, then winked at her friends. The rotten wooden door opened with a sound like an animal crying. The girls hesitated. Afia didn't. She stepped inside first. The room was almost empty. One chair in the center, a single curtain hanging from the window, moving gently in the wind. In, out, almost like breathing. They reviewed the rules, signals, emergency procedures, everything exactly as the ritual demanded. Then Afia placed the lantern in the center of the room and extinguished the light. Darkness swallowed them. One by one, they each said their names 3 times, then took their corners, facing the wall, backs toward the room. Outside, thunder rolled in the distance. And then the leader began counting. 1, 2, 3. The girls moved clockwise, each step echoing softly against old wooden floors. Afia reached her new corner, faced the wall, and began the signals. Knock. From another corner, clap. Then, a touch. They waited. No footstep. Arma's signal never came. Afia frowned. Maybe Amma was joking, trying to scare them. So they continued. Again. 1, 2, 3. They moved. Signals again. Knock. Clap. Nothing. Still no footstep. Outside, rain began falling. The storm was now directly overhead. Afia felt irritation growing into anger. Nobody scares Afia. Nobody. 1, 2, 3. She shouted, marching toward the next corner, furious, ready to end this game. She knocked against the wall, hard, waiting. Nothing. No clap. No touch. No footstep. Only thunder. Closer now. Much closer. The room felt different. Heavy. Like the air itself had become thicker, harder to breathe. And then, Afia made the mistake the ritual warns against. She turned around. In the center of the room, someone sat in the chair. Tall, still, watching. At first, she thought he wore a hat, but then lightning flashed, and she realized half of his skull was missing. His head looked crushed inward, as if struck with something heavy. His eyes reflected pink, then red, then white. In one hand, he held the lantern, and in the other, 3 objects. Arma's bracelet, Nana's phone charm, Esther's hair tie. Her friends were gone. Afia couldn't scream, couldn't breathe, couldn't move. And then she remembered. The emergency protocol. Counterclockwise, names backwards. Turn on the light. But there was one problem. The lantern. It was in his hand. Step by step, she moved backward, retracing the path, heart pounding, whispering her name backwards. Again, again, again. When she reached her original corner, she looked up. The figure hadn't moved. Not even once. Then she ran. She lunged forward, grabbed the lantern from his hand, and lit it. At that exact moment, lightning exploded outside. The room flashed white. Afia fell to the ground, dazed, shaking. The chair was empty. Her friends stood in their corners again, silent, motionless, eyes wide, alive, but different. Outside, the storm intensified. The lantern tipped. Fire spread to the curtain. And within minutes, the abandoned house was burning. The girls escaped, barely. But according to the story, none of them were ever the same. They never discussed what happened inside, not even with each other. Their friendship ended. The group drifted apart, and whenever they passed each other at school, they looked like strangers, as though something had been left behind in that room. Or perhaps something had followed them out. Sleep tight tonight. And if you ever find yourself standing alone in a dark room, count carefully. Because sometimes there are more people in the room than you remember inviting. I'll see you tomorrow night on the next episode of 7 Nights of Forbidden Rituals. And of course, the podcast you can't unhear.